Hi, I'm Darien Spider, and this is PlebPla.
Alright, Darien, so this is officially your first Gunpla that you've ever built.
This is the first one I ever built, thanks to someone buying it for me, and constantly hounding me for it. And now I understand why it was so important to do.
It's called having a backlog.
Yes. Yes, backlog. But we'll call it a backlog just to be nice.
Yeah, well, yeah, you do actually have a backlog. That's right.
I do. I think I have 4 left. I need to run out.
Right. So, what is this that you have built for us today?
This is the Gouf R35, which is the Romberall, or at least it says it's Romberall. Mr. Rawls custom-made mobile suit.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed putting this thing together.
Oh.
I started at a convention just because I was trying to kill time, and then I realized I was halfway done. Within a matter of like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I was actually surprised at how much you had done within, the hour and a half that we were away. It's like, wow, you've got this much done. Let me squeeze this part back together completely. So, I've got a list of points that I want you to cover as far as your kit goes here. How do you feel about the way it looks?
Its general design without any actual painting or anything like that.
Yeah, as is.
I like it a lot. My brother put together a kit long ago, like when he was like 14, 15, which was like 20, 30 years ago. And he put together his with the glue, and
that's the sign of the times.
Yep, it wasn't snapped together or anything like that. They had little nubbins for placement, but everything was glued together. And I guess the reason why I never really did one is because I was afraid I had to glue something.
Yeah, we did have that error one time, but that's again, sign of the times. Right. So. I just want to say, when it comes to a lot of the Build Fighters kits, a lot of those parts were made back in like either the late 90s, early 2000s. They reuse parts for the customized, you'll see, if we could go and look at like runners of the original high-grade Gouf, you'll probably see matching numbers for the years that it was made, or it'll say the HG Goufu, and then another runner will say HG Gouf R35.
Huh.
Now it's only just standing there.
Yep.
But it looks pretty big and bulky. How flexible is that thing?
It's ish flexible. I can get a nice little like running pose out of it if I wanted to, and you get to stand on one foot maybe.
When you move it around, does it feel like anything's gonna pop out and pop off on it?
Not really. So this is my first one, so I'm not pushing everything together. So every once in a while, something will like an arm just fell off a little while ago. It's because I didn't push it in all the way.
Okay.
I even got to stand on one foot. I'm actually kind of impressed.
I am too. It's well balanced. Oh yeah, totally.
I like the customization that you can actually get into these things, because I got extra hands and extra like plates that I could choose between for a different type of look. I did like that.
Yeah, the extra hands. A lot of kits come with will at least come with 2 holding hands, and then depending on the kind of gun, it'll come with a trigger hand. And then the other hand is either going to be a regular holding hand, or sometimes they'll have just an open hand, so you get kind of a dynamic pose when they're doing their thing. But speaking of hands and whatnot, what kind of accessories do you have? How many different things are there that we could play with?
Well, I just kind of toyed doing something real basic with him holding stuff. Like I literally made him hold a sword. I can have 2 swords.
2 swords?
Yeah, it gives me holding hands for 2 swords.
Ooh.
That are completely strung out. Which here's the extra blade for my other sword. But it also give you holsters just to put the blade handles in, which I thought was really cool. So if you don't want to have blades, you can do a holding hand for its little whip thing, which I thought was cool, but I was like, you know what? I really don't want a whip thing. I just want a fist and a sword. and its shields. Shields were actually another thing that these shields can be actually just removed and not be a part of the whole thing. And again, with the customization, the backpack is fully customizable depending on what type of backpack you wanted for the Gouf.
So there's different options on the backpack?
Yes. I actually just kind of did the full, like, geared out backpack, but you can literally take the ball jump jets off, and just leave like this kind of weird like acceleration jump jet, or just take the whole thing off.
Okay, yeah.
Which I thought was cool.
And then just sit. I know this is your first one. You haven't really sat down and played with it or anything, but you think if you just messed around and put it in an action scene, would you be having a whole lot of fun posing it and give it a bunch of different things to do?
Right now, I'm looking forward to making it friends. I really want to make it friends so it can fight people. I feel really nerdy saying that, but
hey, no, that's all right. People have seen my shelves.
Yeah, no, I was again really impressed on the mobility of the whole thing, the accessibility and the customizable. I was really impressed with that. So right now the eye is looking in that direction.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that there's you can literally move the eye.
Yeah. That's some model eyes do and some model eyes don't have that feature. I think the further back you go, the more likely it is that the mono eye is just a sticker.
Yeah. This thing back on if I wanted to. I love this thing.
Well, I'm glad you as your first build are completely proud of your build, as you should be. But next time you might have to review something that you didn't build.
Aww.
Good luck. This has been PlebPla GT.
Yeah.